What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. On today's episode, we're going to be going over some of the takeaways from the game against the Miami Dolphins, and we're going to be giving report cards out to the offense, defense, coaches, and special teams. We're going to break that all down right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
All right, Bears fans. So first up, the first thing that we can take away from this game against the Miami Dolphins is that Justin Fields is a hell of a quarterback. Justin Fields is special. He's our franchise quarterback. We got it. Listen, I'm not going to hesitate to say it. Knock on wood, everything that Justin Fields is legit the truth. That's what we're taking away from this. The growth that Justin Fields has shown from the beginning of this season to where we are right now has been huge. And I think that in some ways, like, the national media is starting to come around, which is all good, fine for them. We're glad that you guys are finally now caught up. And while the Bears aren't going to be a team that is probably going to win a lot of games, right? 3-5 right now, it kind of is what it is there. Been in a lot of close games. 3-6 right now. Been in a lot of close games having the Chicago Bears. But at the end of the day, the growth and development that this team has seen, specifically on the offensive end, can all be laid at the feet for a lot of reasons at Justin Fields and offensive coordinator Luke Getsy. The two, and I said this during the live call, is that the chemistry that's building between Luke Getsy and his quarterback in Justin Fields has been great to see over the course of the season. It's allowed Luke Getsy to trust Justin Fields a little bit more. It's allowed Luke Getsy to open up the playbook a little bit more. At the end of the day, the growth that we're seeing from Justin Fields is the reason coming into the season that the objective, I should say, coming into the season is to see growth and development from Justin Fields to show that he is that franchise quarterback that we're going to continue to build around. The trade for Chase Claypool was the first sign that this team is invested completely in the future of Justin Fields, and playing games like this against the Miami Dolphins, where the issue wasn't the offensive side of the ball. Now, it wasn't perfect, right? There were some drop passes, there were some missed connections, but at the end of the day, why the Bears lost this game was not because of the offense or because of the offensive coordinator Luke Getsy. They did not get stopped on more drives than not. They answered, they scored the most touchdowns that they have this season, showing the development that we've seen from this team has been great to see. And that's the biggest takeaway I feel from this, is that we have the offense, right? We have it. We still need to add more weapons. That's clear. We need that. Justin Fields deserves to have more weapons around him. And we're going to do that in this offseason. We best believe Ryan Poles is going to be adding weapons to this offense. He's going to shore up that offensive line, hopefully, as well. But looking at the bare bones, looking at what we have to have Justin Fields, Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool, David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert, Cole Kmet, as all certified weapons in this offense. To still see what we get from N'Keal Harris as well. Like, he could be another one that's a surefire weapon in this offense. The Bears have it. We have it. And that's the thing that is just, the last two games have been tough losses, but have left so much as far as good taste in our mouths from the development of this offense. And to see it, right? You could even see it in this, how Chase Claypool is going to help just add so much to this Bears offense. It didn't come a lot this game, but, him being targeted a bunch. But outside of that, it's just, as the chemistry builds of this offensive team, it's going to be great to see. And a lot of this is Justin Fields is legit. That's the biggest and best takeaway that I've seen or have from this team and for this team, is that Justin Fields is legit. And Luke Getsy, shout out to calling another great game. There's almost 3 great games back to back that Luke Getsy has called on the offense. All the way back to the New England game, which we did end up winning. Great offensive play calling in that game. The Dallas game, the offense, again, solid play calling in most drives during that. And then this one, it was damn near a perfect offensive game from the Chicago Bears against Miami. And that leaves a lot of good things to hope for and build for on the future. Now, as far as another takeaway, is that, unfortunately, whatever's going on with the defense, they need to figure it out. This defense, the edge that we have, we know we lost Robert Quinn, we lost Roquan Smith. Those were veterans on this defensive team, especially in Robert Quinn, who maybe wasn't doing a lot as far as the stats she showed, but maybe we're missing the leadership there. I don't know, but this defense needs to figure it the hell out. Is every good thing I can say about the offense, I can say negative about the defense. Yeah, Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon didn't get completely blown up and exposed as we've seen it sometimes, and he's growing as well. There are still some good things on this defensive end. Let me be clear. It's not all doom and gloom. I'm not saying that, by any stretch of the imagination, but they need to get it together. Defensive coordinator Alan Williams, I don't know if I'm going to blame everything on him, as Matt Eberflus is also a defensive-minded head coach, but they got to figure it the hell out. The hits concept is all good and everything, but we got to figure it out. Kyler Gordon leading the team in tackles with 8 total tackles, 7 solo. Jack Sanborn with 7 solo tackles as well. He missed a couple of assignments and things like that, but again, his first game starting, we have a very young defense now when you really look at it. Jaquan Brisker being what we expect him to be, Eddie Jackson and Jalen Johnson being the veterans, both playing to what we expect, but this team, as much as we have some of the answers on the offensive end, there's a lot of questions still on the defense. Are Robinson and Travis Gibson going to show that they can be starters on this team going forward into next season? We already know we need to do some work on the interior defensive line as well. But at the end of the day, right, as bad as the defense was, I do have to put it in as a takeaway that this defense needs to improve big time. We don't know if it's just a talent infusion that we need there. We don't know if we need better coaching, but there's some serious concerns with the defense, especially now with the defense being what it was early in the season and the way that the offense is now playing. If those two things meet in the middle somewhere, we're going to have a pretty damn good football team on our hands, right? And then the last takeaway from this team is that there's not going to be any easy wins against the Chicago Bears team. It's not going to be easy. This offense is going to fight. This offense is showing grit. This offense is showing everything that we want damn near, while still needing more talents, while still needing better contributions from the offensive line. Now, I will say in this game, they gave up 2 sacks. Both of those sacks, I think, came in the second half at that. But we just need to play a little bit better, only allowing 2 QB hits in this game, 2 sacks in this game. We need to, we can build on that, right? We can build on that. But looking at this team, it's going to be a tough team. This team on the latter half of this season, the rest of the games that we got, is going to be tough for a lot of teams out there. The Bears have 8 games left on the season. And in those 8 games, I'm expecting us to continue to see growth on the offensive end from the Chicago Bears, and hopefully to see some growth, especially from the younger guys on the defense who are now thrusted into starting positions that weren't starting before because we had veterans at those positions. So that's kind of some of the takeaways. Now let's get into grading the team overall. The offense, if you can't tell, I'm head over heels for the offense. The offense gets an A. The offense gets an absolute A for me, and the coaching on the offense gets an absolute A. This was one of the best games to see offensively from the Chicago Bears all season, if not the best all season. Period. Justin Fields breaking a record in this game. And this is all Justin Fields doing this still with the holes and the issues that we have on the defensive end of the offensive line. Cole Kmet getting involving Cole Kmet in ways under center. Great to see. We're getting some originality in this offense. You know, they're still in plays from other teams and things like that, and that's all fine. But it's they're restoring that feeling when it comes to the offense for the Chicago Bears that, listen, I'm super excited for. We get Chase Claypool with his first full week, going to be integrated a little bit more into the offense, trying to use his skill set a little bit more. But the offense gets an absolute A for me in this game. The defense, woo! I will give this, right? The only thing that's saving the defense from getting a flat-out F is the fact that the defense did make stops in the fourth quarter where we needed it. That blown-up punt is really what dictated this team, but the Bears were able to start making stops. So that's the only thing that saves. They get a D- for me, but it was very clearly close to an F. I will say the way that they responded, the way that they made stops when we needed it and put the Bears in position to possibly win the game, I can't give them a flat-out F, even though I want to, but they get a D- for me on this one. Special teams in this game, that blown-up punt specifically, listen, it's not going to be good. We had some punts that got in good field position, even though things got ugly. So I still a D in this one for me. It's just that because that punt is really, that blown up punt is really what dictated this game and changed the outlook of this game. The Bears could have very well won this game or sent it in overtime if it wasn't for that play alone. And I know it's easy to kind of hinge everything on one play because we don't know how it would have went otherwise than that. They could have marched down the field and scored a touchdown anyway. But still, got to give them that on this one. The coaching overall in this game, the offensive coaching, as you can gets an A. Defensive coaching gets a, I don't know, man. F. The defensive coaching gets an F for me in this one, despite the stops. Like I wanted to see better from this team in those areas. But I will say this: positivity for the second loss in a row for the Bears. There's a lot of positive to take away from this team in those losses. And I, for one, am really optimistic about this team and the future of this team. And you're starting to see that not just from Bears fans, you're starting to see that generally everywhere, that people are realizing this Bears team, while may not be a threat this season, with the draft picks that we have, with the cap space that we have, be on the lookout for the Bears next season. People are realizing this Bears team has that grit, and we got our franchise quarterback. And I, for one, feel good about it. I feel damn good about having our franchise quarterback and Justin Fields locked in. He's balling out there, man. And this team is going to go that way. Now, before we go, I do want to mention Roquan Smith did have a letter written for Bears fans, and this one, it was great. He starts his the new chapter of his career is what he labeled it. And just saying this, I'm going to read this directly. Today's a new chapter of my career begins. As I write this, I'm full of gratitude. Thank you to all the Bears fans worldwide for all your love and support. Thank you to the city of Chicago for embracing me as one of your own. Thank you to Ryan Pace and his regime for believing in me. Thank you to McCaskey family for making my dream come true. Thank you to Dick Butkus. He knows why. Thank you to every teammate. Thank you to every coach. Thank you to everyone who helped me, from the trainers to the cafeteria staff, to everyone who held the standard of what being a Bear is all about. Thank you again to every Bears fans. When my career is over, we'll reminisce on all the good times shared together in Chicago. I'm forever grateful for those memories. That's a great, listen, all the stuff with Roquan and how weird it got with like the agent who wasn't agent, and him wanting to be the highest paid linebacker, and it just them not being able to work out a contract. Roquan Smith started off his career as a Chicago Bear, and he played damn good for us. And hats off to him for doing the right thing and writing that letter. It's great. He plays tonight against the Ravens. I'll be watching his debut on Monday Night Football. I don't want to see anything bad for Roquan Smith. I understand why we moved on from Roquan, considering the contract, things like that. I understand it. Not to say that it's the way that I would necessarily coming into the season wanted to see it go, but hats off to Roquan Smith. And hopefully he has success down there in a team that's competing. He's going to have the chance to hopefully go for a title, and shout out to Roquan. And hopefully he gets the contract that he's seeking. This is not going to be here in Chicago, but shouts out to Roquan Smith on that. But that is it for today's daily episode of Chicago Bear Central. Make sure you're following the show at Chi Bear Central on every social media platform. You can also send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and or voicemail for our Friday mailbag episodes, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related because of you guys. Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.